Welcome guys to the Pixels and Panels podcast episode 5, again here with Raith, and this time we're going to talk about the Tokyo Game Show 2017, which just happened last week, and there were some nice interesting details that we wanted to talk about, but there wasn't that much of, in terms of new games, in terms of new reveals, but we had some, and for that all it is, it was nice. Let's first start with Nintendo. Nintendo had a direct, a live stream just before the Tokyo Game Show. It was, I think, 2 or 3 days before the actual Tokyo Game Show, and they didn't really have that much to show. Sorry guys, but still no Smash for Switch. I'm sure that will come someday, but people are being furious right now that it's still not there. I honestly couldn't care less because I don't play Smash, but for the people that do, I understand. They really want that thing to be on Switch too. But yeah, there was no reveal of that. There was no Bayonetta reveal, which many people hoped for. It didn't come to that. But what they did have, and what really excited me, was Project Octopath Traveler. They showed us new gameplay footage, they had a trailer, and they said they are going to release a demo pretty soon after the live stream. And I was hyped at this point, because this is one of the Switch titles I'm very looking forward to. And yeah, I downloaded, played it. It's amazing. It feels like an older Final Fantasy title with new graphics in some ways. It has this what the developers call 2D HD vibe going. It's amazing. It has these the pixel art is great. The backgrounds are great. The lighting, and the gameplay is great too. It has very nice. It feels a little simple from the start, but it feels amazing when you actually play it. It has a turn-based fighting system like the old Final Fantasies, and but it feels amazing for what it does. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah, the big question is here: why isn't it called Final Fantasy? Like,
because I know what you mean by that. They should totally just call it Final Fantasy, but the development team, the game itself is from Square Enix, but the development team is the same that did the Bravely Default games. Bravely Default and Bravely Second. I'm not a huge fan of these games, although I know and I acknowledge that they are good. They are good games. I'm not a big fan of the art style, so that's why I don't like chibi in general, and I didn't like the how the characters looked. Felt a little awkward, but the gameplay in general is amazing, and these guys know how to do a good RPG, and this is how you can tell. And I think this development team just wants to do their own thing instead of just profiting from the name Final Fantasy, you know. And I really
but the way it looks, it's just like it's the first thing you comes to your mind. The interface, the gameplay,
it is. It
everything.
is, yeah.
And if they want to do something original or their own thing, this looks good, but it's certainly not its own thing. Like, you know.
Yeah, it is. It isn't. It technically is, because it has this mechanic that I really like, where every character has his own unique playstyle in terms of ability in the overworld, and this is what I really liked about the game. Like this is where it's
exactly like what I haven't played the demo.
Okay, so here's the thing. In the demo, you have 2 out of 8 characters. That in the full version, you are going to play all 8 characters, and they are going to have a story all on their own until they finally meet each other or something like that.
So
you know?
It's Wild Arms.
Yeah, in some
Pretty
way.
much the first game.
Yeah, in some way it is. But I can't say too much of it because I didn't play Wild Arms. but yeah, it definitely feels in some way that way. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you.
in the first White Arms, before your three characters meet, or you played an own storyline with each of them, and at one point in the story they all meet up and you get your party, and they all have every character has different items or skills they can use
Uh huh.
for dungeon traps, or for example, there's a button on the other side, then you shoot your mouse over it to press it and it comes back, or
Mhm.
your main character has bombs which you can use to blow things up. You can reset time with your female character who has
Yeah, yeah.
sand
It's.
clock, and
Mhm.
it immediately reminded me of the very first Wild Arms game with the individual storylines and with the overworld skills.
This is very interesting because what you just described pretty much sums it up. In this game, you have like these 8 characters, and in the demo, you play the beginning of the stories of 2 of them. You can just choose at the beginning which one you want to play with, and you have this soldier guy who once was a soldier, and he's got the ability to just challenge anyone he sees, like in the town, in random places. He can just challenge every NPC to a fight, and get some cool stuff out of it. Um, the other character is the dancer. She has a different storyline, which in the demo they are going to meet even in the demo, at the end of the demo. But the game does not reveal, or the demo does not reveal how they are going to meet up. It's just you are in this town, she's in this town, and you are in a party together. And the game says, okay, but we are not going to tell you why they are in the party together now. So that's really cool. It's even though the demo is very long, with both characters I played for about 4 hours because I very very much enjoyed the gameplay, and I just wanted to see the scale of boundaries where you can walk around, what you can do with the characters, where you can loot things. So I had a blast with just the demo. It's amazing. And the dancer character, if you play her, she has the ability to seduce NPCs, which is really cool because she can just seduce some people from the town, and then just bring them in the party, in the fight with them, and they have special abilities, which is really really cool. They Once you seduce someone, he just follows you like a party member. I really like that. I'm looking forward to the other characters once the game is out, and the game is supposed to come out next year. Um, yeah, this is my highlight from the Nintendo Direct. Otherwise, sorry guys, no Smash for Switch and no Bayonetta for Switch yet, but I'm
Yeah,
sure these
well,
things will come.
do we even know that Nintendo is funding Bayonetta 3?
Bayonetta 3, I think so. I'm pretty sure
No,
they
because
do.
as far as I know, there is only the hint dropped that Bayonetta 3 is coming. Because the thing with Bayonetta 2 was, it came for the Nintendo console, for the Wii U, for the Wii U, because Nintendo was the only one who funded the sequel. So many people complained about
Right,
that,
right.
but it was the creators of Bayonetta were, well, these guys funded us to make the second game,
Right.
so
That's why it even
deal
exists,
with
and
it.
that's why it's going to be on Wii U. That was the general explanation. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the third game can't be funded by someone else or can be published multi-console. You know,
Yeah, it could be
maybe.
because in the end, this is still the developer studio is still Platinum Games, right? And they can always get funded by someone else, and then they have the games over to someone else. But I think that's not going to happen because of the fact that Nintendo already had the second game, and they were really in good terms with Platinum Games when it comes to Bayonetta. So I don't think they want to get that license slipped off of them right after that. I'm pretty sure Nintendo is going to do something to still hold the license as good as possible.
It's Nintendo, so anything goes really.
Yeah,
They
anything
did
goes.
stupid
Yeah,
things in the past, so you know,
yeah. You know,
we will see. We will see.
and, yeah, we will see how that goes. Yeah. So that's more or less it for the Nintendo Direct from TGS. It was not very. There was not very much to be shown. A few 3DS games, a few Switch games, but nothing new, nothing completely original from my standpoint.
To be perfectly honest, even though I saw what was released, I don't even remember anything anymore. Like, oh, there was Nintendo Direct. Wait, what
Yeah,
did
it
they
was.
release?
They always every few months they do these directs, and it always has like one or two things that have me interested, but the rest is more like nah. um, okay, so let's jump a few days forward where the TGS started, and we got the Sony press conference. Um, I watched it live because it was in a human time, in a humanly possible time for me in Germany. For once, there's a live stream that I can catch, and it's not at 4 a.m. And for me, it was actually 9 a.m., so I could watch it live. And yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
If only if it was worth it.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
that's the thing, you know. So they were showing us a lot of old stuff, like stuff that we know about, stuff that we even trailers. I mean, there were entire trailers that were just shown at E3, and they just show them to us again. There were some cool things. Like Zone of the Enders, they had a huge, not a huge, but they had a VR segment, and I'm not very interested in VR. But here's the thing: they had this VR segment, and they were showing like little tidbits of new VR games. And there was actually Zone of the Enders, and it's Zone of the Anubis, Zone of the Enders Mars, which is, I thought it's going to be a new game because it
No,
looked new.
It's a remastered of the PS2
Right.
game.
Right, it's the remaster of the PS2 game, and it's but only the second game, and it's going to be having full VR support, but you can play it without VR, and it looks okay so far. I hope it's not going to be as bad as the Zoe 1 and 2 on PS3 and Xbox 360, because those were not good remasters.
So here's the thing. I don't know what to expect. If this is a good remasters, Konami, which by the way still is doing video games, surprisingly.
Yeah, this was a surprise. Yeah,
But if this is successful and they want to continue the series, this is what is going to be another shit show like Metal Gear Survive, because Konami got rid of Kojima, and Zone of the Enders was Kojima's baby again. So
yeah, it was another one of Kojima's things. That's why I was a little bit surprised that they are going to do a completely new game, but now it makes more sense because it's not a new game; it's just a remaster, so it doesn't really care. But here, in the other hand, we have Metal Gear Survive, which is a completely new original Metal Gear game, which shouldn't have the name or Metal Gear in it because it has literally nothing to do with it. So yeah,
and it's going to be compared. Here's the thing: maybe this kind of tower defense game, or what, or camp management, however you want to call it.
Yeah, it is.
It might be good as that kind of game, or acceptable, but because it has a Metal Gear brand on it, people are going to rip it apart if it doesn't.
And
compare
that's what Konami deserves for it, in my opinion. So they should.
Yeah, Konami.
I mean,
is a bitch for the last few years, so.
So that's the thing. I mean, if they do that kind of mistake, please do that mistake, but you will see what you get from that, and it's going to be hate from the fans. And yeah, that's but that was really all there was to new things. We had a new Monster Hunter trailer. It looked really cool. Monster Hunter Wardo. This time I got the joke right. And we got a release date for the game, and it's the end of January in 2017. It's going to be a worldwide simultaneous release, which is amazing.
Surprisingly, not for Christmas. 1 month too late.
Did you think that was surprising? Because what was surprising for me is that it's coming out so early.
Yeah, no, I think because it comes out so early, I'm surprised they didn't try to push for Christmas. Because if it's not Christmas, then they could wait. Because if you release it in January or February or March, doesn't make so much difference, you know?
Ah, yeah,
Because
okay, yeah, I
these
see
are
what you
not
mean.
so
Yeah,
marketed times. So
yeah,
I'm,
yeah. Christmas is much more profitable. You're right on that, of course. Um, Maybe they have gone for a Christmas release date, and then they were in the last second like, nah, we are not going to make it. But I mean, it's even surprising that it's coming out so early because this game just got announced like a few months back, and then they had instantaneously they had playable demos. They had, I mean, they did it right for once. Like Capcom really did it right here. They had a game announced that they were very much finished with, that they can release soon. That's how you should do it, and that's really really cool. So that was a huge surprise, and that was amazing to have a release date so early. Um, Other than that, we had Final Fantasy IX coming back and back and back, like every Final Fantasy game. Another re-release, another.
this is really disappointing me because it is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, and for the
Yeah, 9 is amazing.
PlayStation 4 release, they don't even update the sprites and the graphics, which really shouldn't be that hard at this point.
No. It is updated. It has updated graphics, but it's the Steam version. Like the
Yeah,
version
no,
we
this is
it's
not
not even
updated.
new.
This is not
This is
a
not
real
even new.
remastering. This doesn't look that much different from the original.
No,
And
no, it
that's my
doesn't.
problem. If you want me to buy this for PlayStation 4, then for
Dude,
once be a remake whore and
I
actually
I
do
swear to you,
something.
I like this version even less than the original, and you know what the reason for that is? The UI. I hate the UI that the Steam version comes with, and this is the Steam version. It has the same UI. I checked that. Um, I don't like it at all. It looks so bad. I like the original way more. So the original is way better. So even they didn't do that right. I can't believe it, but they fucked it up. um,
Yeah,
yeah, but if you
but
want to have this game again for $20, I don't know how much it's going to be cost, but I guess it's going to be $20. Yeah, buy this for $20, and then you have the game, and you have a cool design for your PS4. Hey, no, dude, don't. This is just stupid. Sorry, but
just
this is
don't.
dumb.
Just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know the thing is, a lot of people were a little disappointed by the press conference, and I was like, okay, what did you think is what going to happen? And here's the thing: some people told me, yeah, they definitely were ready to see some Death Stranding, and I was like, are you crazy? Are you actually mentally insane? Because Kojima, this is straight up E3 material. This is nothing that Kojima would show up in Japan only. Like he would come out in the big thing and say, here, finally some gameplay for this game. Also, how can you be excited for a game that you didn't see any gameplay of? Like, you only know that Norman Reedus is going to be in it, and Mads Mikkelsen, that's it, and
I think
Guillermo del Toro.
I do understand why people are excited for it because
Because it's a Kojima game, or
no, all the people that included, it's just going to be so disappointing if it isn't anything but ingenious, you know, because so many talented people are on this project. So I get that people are excited, but I'm on your side. If they don't show me any gameplay to support the visuals, I'm not like, yeah, well, great. Do you
Yeah,
know how much anime I've seen? Do you know how many games I played? So, like, you have to give me something to
yeah,
get me
honestly, for me,
excited.
this game can go to hell right away if they're going to. If Kojima is going to be like, no, we are going to tease it for like 3 or 4 years without showing any gameplay, Seriously, no. I'm not on board with that. So I'm not interested in this game until I see gameplay, and then I'm going to judge if it's my type of game or not. Because for now we don't even know if this going to be a horror game. Is
Yeah.
this going to be an action adventure? Is this going to be a stealth game? We have no idea. The only thing Kojima told us is that it's going to be less about fighting and more about connecting, which is saying nothing. Which is like this is you couldn't say less.
Yeah, but to stop you here, there wasn't anything shown on Death Stranding, and I think we should stay with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's just pointless talking about Death Stranding at this point.
Yeah. Another thing is they had little tidbits of games that were already announced, but they had some trailers for them, and this is I'm just saying that because this is the game that really got me excited once it got announced. It was about a month ago at Gamescom. We got a trailer from Sega showing us.
Did you even listen to me? I said let's stay at Final Fantasy for now.
Final Fantasy? Why weren't we done
Because-
with Final Fantasy 9?
Yes, but considering this is a 13th anniversary, they haven't given us very much this year, have they?
Oh god, you're right. I didn't even recognize that. Yeah, they had that. Oh no, this is bad. This is seriously bad. The only things Final Fantasy wise they showed us was like this Final Fantasy 15 universe thing that I'm actually super tired of. And then
Well,
there
they
was
did-
the
they
Monster
did
of the
add-
Deep, which is an epic title for a very shitty VR fishing game.
And I wasn't even talking about that. I was all they did was release Noctis for Dissidia.
Oh, yeah,
which
for
was
Dissidia
pretty
NT,
much
yeah.
the new content, and I'm
This
like
is so bad. This is so bad.
30 years of Final
Thank you,
Fantasy,
Square.
and that's all you give us, you know?
Yeah. And last year I think it was last year, there was Final Fantasy VII's 20th anniversary, and we didn't even get a new trailer or anything for the remake. This is, wow. Okay. Like, this is Square. Okay. Straight up. Just 30th anniversary, we don't care. But maybe there's going to be like I think at the end of the year there's going to be another like Sony event. Maybe they're going to show something there, but here they actually didn't. So I don't know. This is super disappointing. Like the fact that you
weak.
pointed that out. The fact that you pointed that out. I mean, I didn't even recognize that. Like I knew about that, but I totally forgot. And that makes that makes the fact about so less of Final Fantasy way more disappointing. Like, wow. No, but yeah, I mean, let's wrap it up for Final Fantasy, right? Because there wasn't that much more. Or do you want to talk about Monster of the Deep? Because I can do that for like an hour if you want.
I don't care. I literally don't care.
Because the first time. Okay, this is the only thing I want to say to that. The first time I saw this thing, like Monster of the Deep, I was laughing my ass off. Like the very first trailer they showed for it, I think it was a month ago. They were just showing like VR fishing, right? Because that's what this game is. It's going to be VR fishing, and that's it. At the end of the trailer, in the like teaser, I don't know. They show you how this gigantic fish is coming at your face, and it looks so bad. Like it looks PS2 graphics. I mean, it's not scary, and it's like stupid. It's ridiculous. And then the epic title, Monster of the Deep. I shit you not. I laughed my tears off, man.
And I don't even care for fishing. So many new games have this fishing segment, and for me it's just, oh yeah, I have to complete that to be a completionist about my game, but it's just a buzzer.
Fishing
always-
is
yeah.
something that I do, and every time I play a Yakuza game and it has fishing in it, I fish for like 5 minutes and have fun with it, and then I go to the 900 other things that you can do in the game. So, okay, but where we on the topic of Yakuza, what I just wanted to say is that Sega released a trailer for Hokuten no Gotoku. And it's not called Hokuto no Ken, it's called Hokuten no Gotoku because it's written like Ryu ga Gotoku, which is the Yakuza games in Japan. So this game is gameplay wise a crossover from Yakuza with Hokuto no Ken skin on it, which is Fist of the North Star. So we have a completely new original Fist of the North Star game, which is going to play like Yakuza, which is amazing because Yakuza has a great beat 'em up system, and I love it. And even the voice actor for the main character is the voice actor for the main character in the Yakuza games, Kiryu. So even that is pretty amazing because he has a solid voice for that kind of thing. And yeah, the trailer looked amazing. It looked way better than I think it was Koei Tecmo game that we got a few years back. Completely different level here. We are talking a really fun game from the first trailer on, and they showed that again. They didn't have anything new to show for it, but they had the same trailer again, and I'm really excited for it. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
It looks so, I don't know, not weird, but it's so unexpected. Like,
it's extremely yeah, I know what you mean. It's surreal, right? I mean, it's very unexpected because here's the thing: the development team from Sega that does the Yakuza games, they have all hands full with games right now. They just announced, like, okay, Yakuza 6 was last year, but they had Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and now they announced Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the remake of the second game, which they are working on right now. They even had a trailer for that, so they have something there. Then they are working on this Yakuza Online game. Then they are working on a completely, I don't know what it's called, but it's a Yakuza spin-off. Then they had a survey. There was a survey a few weeks back where they asked people, hey, which one of these games do you want to have in Western and released in the West? And yeah, of course, smart people were like, all of them. Like they had like six games that you could pick. And everyone said, yeah, all of them. And Tokuten no Gagotoku was one of them. So I hope, I really hope all these games get released in the West. But this is mind blowing for me because they are working on so much stuff, and then they have this Fist of the North Star game coming. This is crazy. Like, on how many games can you work simultaneously? This is just.
Yeah, but it's also dangerous. It feels like they, Yakuza is becoming a thing. Let's just put as many games connected to that out. So.
Well, Yakuza isn't becoming a thing. Yakuza is a thing since for 15 years, and
becoming a popular thing worldwide, because Yakuza was always undersold.
In the West, yes, it was never like a super big seller in the West. It was the big seller in Japan only. And now with Yakuza 0, which they stated had a very good selling line. They sold a lot of Yakuza 0 copies, which is the prequel. They said that, wow, the West now has interest in Yakuza, and they want to elaborate on that. So yeah, I agree with you there. And it kind of feels a little dangerous. But let's be real, they are using the same assets they used before. They are using the same animations. That they are using I mean, there are some animations from the very first Yakuza game from 2000, I think 4 or 2002 that they still use in new Yakuza games, and they still work because they still look good. It's astonishing, but that's what they do. So they have all that. I mean, it still feels a little dangerous because it's so many games, but I'm pretty sure they will nail it. They wouldn't show us so much at one time just to say in a few months, no, that was too much for us, and we are only going to give you half-baked games. They're not going to do that, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not too sure. It's just too many. It's just too many. So at once, and just look at other games that got consistently worse with the time. I mean, Assassin's Creed started out as some new original Prince of Persia knockoff, and then we got one every year because it sold. Like, because that's the thing people forget. I mean, I'm one of these haters that's annoyed by the Assassin's Creed franchise, but the first one was still an original game. Like, it was something new.
Yeah, it had its own original ideas, right?
And so I'm a bit skeptic, but I'm always a skeptic, so take
Yeah.
it with a bit
Of course,
salt.
I mean it's not a bad thing to be skeptic, and I highly recommend it to everyone to be skeptic. In this particular case, I'm skeptic too, of course, but I really want this Yakuza Fist of the North Star game. I really want this to be good, and I want it to be released here in the West. But we'll see about that. I mean, let's wrap Yakuza up here. I mean, they didn't even show anything new at the TGS, so there's no need to talk about much of it. Another thing that was announced, and that was a huge surprise. And I'm sorry we're recording this right here, but I need to look it up. I'm very very sorry because I forgot the name, but it's the one thing I can say is that it has the art director from the Metal Gear series. And it's going to be a very new and original game. I need to look it up. Just 1 second.
Tell me just, was this a city shrouded in, or what do you mean?
City? What do you mean?
This was also a new game, a city shrouded or something.
Yeah.
But you mean something different.
I mean,
Shrouded in shadow. A city
I mean, there was
shrouded in
there was no real trailer, you know. There was no. It was like a teaser, and
Left
yeah,
Alive?
we saw a, yeah, Left Alive. Thank you.
Yeah, because that's surprising me because it shows literally nothing.
Yeah,
So
it shows
I was
nothing.
like, who cares?
This is, yeah, I didn't care too, but the only thing I did care about is that the art director is on board with it, and it looks like he's doing his Metal Gear art for that. But other than that, we don't know anything about the game, so might as well just wait for gameplay. Okay, so I don't have to look it up. Thank you, Wraith. Another thing is that at the Sony press conference, like we said, there was not really much more to be talked about. After the press conference, there was not really much that we can talk about. After the press conference, we had some little teasers and trailers here and there from games that we know about. We had the Monster Hunter trailer, which is Monster Hunter is going to appear in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out last week. I don't know if it had a good start or not. All I know is that it has a very good netcode, which is a cool thing to have for a fighting game. But here's the thing, we got the trailer for Monster Hunter. It's going to be a DLC character, which is going to like hit the sales in 1 week or so. And I can't look at this and straight up not think scam here. Because here's the thing, I watched the trailer and I thought she looked cool. This is a cool character, and the design, I like the design. This is a really cool thing to have here. But if this character is going to show up in 1 week, how can I not think scam here? Because this feels like scam. This feels like this game just came out, but we want you to charge more money than you already did pay for this game. And I don't know, but this is a very bold move from Capcom here. I don't like that at all. You have a new character.
Do you even care enough about Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yes, I do.
Like
I honestly, here's the thing. I would care much more about it, and the rest of the world would care much, or rest of the fighting game community would care much more about it if there was no announcement of another fighting versus game that looks way better, and that's Dragon Ball FighterZ. So Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will survive for maybe until February, until Dragon Ball FighterZ will come out, and after that it's going to die. But I honestly, before Dragon Ball FighterZ got announced, I was stoked for a new Marvel vs. Capcom title. And now I didn't even buy this game yet, and I'm not even sure if I will, if they pull out stunts like these. Because this character looks really cool, and I like it gameplay-wise, but what the fuck, Capcom? Like, no, honestly, like, this is stupid. Like, you bring out a character like 1 week or 2 weeks after its initial release of the game, and here's another thing, I didn't even know that, but this is something someone told me after that, is the fact that the Monster Hunter, the character, is in the story mode of the game, which is in the game. You play the story, and the character is fully there. Like, you can even play as the character in the story mode. This is stupid. Like, this is ridiculous. This is clearly holding off the character just for getting a few more bucks from the people that play this game. This is scumbaggy, Capcom. Please, you are better than that. This is
not really.
No, they can be better than that. That's what I'm saying here. But this is stupid. Like, they had this character. It was like you can't go. Normally, you would say, okay, maybe they had to work a little more on this character. I would understand that if the character is coming out in like 1 month or something. If they really have to like balance this character, if they have new animations for it. But the fact that the character is already in the game and is still a DLC character that will be coming just for reasons, is just mind-blowing for me. But
this was a case with other games as well, where people found out that on the game CD, the DLC content is already there.
Yes, that's the big embargo. No. That's the big embargo that Street Fighter Cross Tekken had, which is a terrible game. And yes, they you know how much hate Capcom got because of that. Like, that was years ago. We are talking like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when Street Fighter Cross Tekken got released, and the people found out, like, data mined it, and found out the DLC is already on the disc, and all we are going to do is pay additional money just to get it unlocked, which was a huge embargo, and Capcom even had to apologize for that. Like, they came out and straight up said, yeah, okay, that was a mistake. We're sorry. And now they're doing that. Now they're doing this. And I mean, here's the thing. Most people seem to be fine with it, which I don't get. I don't get this at all. I mean,
people
like,
are stupid. But
yeah.
I have to be honest, I don't care about Marvel vs. Capcom anymore at all. The whole creation of the newest version is like, are you drunk? Did you take drugs? I know.
Yeah.
Talk with us. Do you need the help with your
yeah,
development?
the roster is bad. You don't have any X-Men characters. I mean, I understand the licensing issues here because of Fox and thing. But if you don't get these characters, it doesn't even matter.
Stop. That's not true. That's the licensing is not the problem. For video games, they can use the X-Men character as they like. They just don't want to
No,
because the
that's
movies are
not.
profiting
No,
from
no,
it.
no, 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 no. That's not true. Because they're working only with they're only working with Marvel slash Disney. They're only working with the teams that do the cinematic universe thingy, and that's why they only have the cinematic universe thing. Because Fox would be like, no, you can't use the X-Men
Of
characters,
course
or
you
if you
can.
want to use them, you have to pay extra for the
No, no,
license.
no. It's only for the movies. X-Men character could be used. But Marvel has this thing for years, even before they met up with Disney, that they try to avoid using characters that the movies use. The only reason X-Men comics are still published because they make too much money. They try to publish their alternatives, their Inhumans, but the
Yeah, yeah.
Inhumans don't sell as good as the X-Men. That's why X-Men is still good going. But for Fantastic Four, for example, don't even have their own comic books anymore
Yeah.
because the movie rights aren't with them. And here's the thing: they can use X-Men character for video games. The deal is only with the movie license. For video games, Marvel could use the X-Men characters all they like. They just don't use
Okay,
them.
but it's on Marvel. But it's on. Okay, I understand that, but it's on Marvel to say to Capcom, hey, you can use these characters, because this is the thing here. Capcom needs to have permission from Marvel for characters. Other than that, it's not going to work. This is one of the reasons. And I thought that was stupid, but in Marvel's Capcom 3, they had this completely like finished model of Doctor Octopus, right? They had him finished, they had him ready, and they knew, okay, why would Marvel say no to him, and they did. They, for some reason, they did. No, you can't release him.
But I think,
And they didn't even give a reason.
I think it
specific.
was around the time where Superior Spider-Man was going. I don't know if you know the storyline of that.
Yeah, I know that, where Peter Parker is not really dead, but dead, and Doctor Octopus is the new Spider-Man. I kind of like that. But here's but here's the thing. That was way before that. Like, we're talking Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, which got released in, I think it was 29. I think 2029. Yeah. Or no, sorry, 2011.
I'm not sure because that storyline Superior Spider-Man was going for a while.
Yeah, it was going for a while, but it started later, for all I know. Way later.
Yeah, 2013 to 2014.
Yeah. I don't think that was the reason here. But they didn't like something about the idea. I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm sure. I assure you that Capcom is not at fault here when it comes to the X-Men characters. It's Marvel for not wanting that, because they want to push the MCU. I mean, this is what the people on this is what people speculated from the beginning, and that it was going to be like that, because Capcom really wants these characters for this game. Like, they do. Magneto is one of the most favorite characters in these franchises, in this franchise ever. People hated that he's not there. So
You know, as I said, I don't give a fuck about Marvel vs.
Yeah.
Capcom currently. So, I mean, do whatever you want. I don't really care.
yeah, it's I mean, in the end, it's all tastes, right? And I still, well, like I said, I still don't even have this game. I can't believe this, but yeah, it's just like that. Other than that, let's be real here. The TGS didn't really have anything more going. I mean, it's probably very cool when you are there and you can test out some games and things. Like like in some degree, it's more like it's not like the Japanese E3. It's more like the Japanese Gamescom, where you have more fun going there and just testing things out.
But they usually have new releases, Japan specifically, and this was really lacking.
Oh yeah,
this year.
they did have some. They had this in the press conference. They had this visual novel thing going, and this dating sim game for the PS4. But I honestly don't want to talk about these because that looked just stupid.
Well, there were a few things, but no real new games. There was a new Steins Gate visual novel announcement. So basically, they were doing the original visual novel with animated, completely animated, based on the anime. And the only really new thing, which will be interesting for people, is that there will be new routes. So new story splits in the game, which is of course. I don't care too much, but I guess
me neither. I have no opinion on Steins Gate.
Steins Gate is a pretty good story, so for those people, it will be pretty awesome, I think. But yeah, one thing I found interesting is with the with the VR games is that there's now coming smaller titles. For example, there's an Assassination Classroom VR game coming up. It's really simple. It's more like a shooter, but I like the idea that you take the gimmick of an anime and make it a game. Like there's a lot of opportunity with all these crazy plot lines from anime.
I mean, as long as you don't make it in a full price game, like just a little play thing here. It's amazing. Like I really like this idea. You just brought me onto another thing that was the Kaiji VR game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it. That's a city shrouded in shadow. That's a Kaiju game.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
I saw that.
And I found it's not my kind of game, but I like the idea because it's something new. It's not something you have played many times before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is actually some.
Yeah, this is something completely original, right? Especially the Kaiji VR game. I'm not a huge fan for VR things, but here's the thing: I really wanna try out this Kaiji VR game, and you wanna know why? Because I'm afraid of heights. Like since I'm a little kid, I'm super afraid of heights. I wanna know what it's like to be. To be on this thing and just looking down, what it's going to be like for me,
Okay.
My brother was like, nah, it's not going to be a hard game, and I'm pretty sure he's right, but just I want to know the feeling of just experiencing this.
Do you know what would be really funny if they released actually two games? One where you are the persons running away, and another game where you're playing the kaijus fighting and destroying the city and being pretty much the cause of the other game. That would be really funny. But yeah.
That was
the basic gist.
Wraith. We are talking on two different topics here. This is the first time this happened. Amazing. Okay, so here's the thing. Wraith was just talking about the kaiju game, and I didn't recognize that. I thought he was talking about the Kaiji game, the game from the anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kaiji. And, because I didn't even know there's a Kaiji game.
Yeah, there's a Kaiji VR game, and it looks amazing. This is the part of the anime where they in the first season where they have to balance on these steel what do they call them in English? On these steel pipes. They have to walk on these steel pipes, this part of the anime, and you are playing as Kaiji, and you have to balance balance your way across like in the anime, and this is what they're going to do a VR game of, and I thought that was amazing, and that's why I said I want to try out this game because I'm afraid of heights, because I want to know what it's like to look down there.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, definitely check out the trailer. But you were talking about the Kaiju game. just to be clear.
Yeah, which I pretty much says. So it's basically where you're a normal person when Godzilla or something else fights and the city's going to destroy, and you're basically just trying to survive, which
Yeah,
makes
this is
it
cool.
almost a horror survival game.
Yeah, it is a horror survival game in some way, yeah.
And so it's not really much of my kind of game, but I just like the fact that something new, and
Yeah.
that wasn't really done before. And that's what I mean with if they release the second game where you're actually playing the kaiju destroying the city and then seeing the effects you cause on the small screen, which would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like I like ideas like that. Just play around with that. This is really cool.
Yeah, and that's
Like this-
actually something new on this.
Yeah. Definitely want to check these out. But other than that, let's wrap it up because there's not really much more to talk about at the Tokyo Game Show. I, of course, wish I would have been there so I could talk a little more about the things that I could try out and play, but I wasn't there.
So the only thing that really interested me is also nothing new. It's just the final trailer for Trails of the Cold Steel 3 from the
okay.
What's the English title?
I don't know.
Trails in the Sky that's the previous game. What's the main title? Trails of the Cold Steel is the newest title.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So basically, they showed the final trailer for the Japanese version, and there has yet to be announcement. Legend of Heroes: Trails of the Cold Steel.
Okay.
And they have yet to announce an English release, which is really sad. So I expect it to come in 1 year in English.
Yeah, just like the Yakuza games.
Yeah, because the games do have gotten more and more popular, and the second game was much quicker translated than the first, I think. Which I'm still playing the second game currently.
Okay.
But I probably finished before 1 year, so it's a bit annoying because of spoilers and stuff to wait 1 year until you can play it.
Yeah, of course. It's just like the Persona 5 game, right? When Persona 5 hit the sales in
but
Japan.
here's the thing: Persona is much bigger compared to Legend of Heroes.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's much more well known and it was much more anticipated.
Okay.
So, and that took over half a year to translate, which is already a joke. Like, that people outside of Japan waited for your game.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you should just bring it out. I mean,
with Trails of the Cold Steel, I'm at least like it's not that famous. It's not on Persona level. So I get that they make first the Japanese release and then the English release. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's now on PlayStation 4 is just showing that it has grown so much, because Trails of the Cold Steel was intended as a PlayStation Vita game and just was released as additionally on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, because they saw the PlayStation Vita game is not going to sell much because nobody plays the fucking thing.
Yeah, well, in Japan, but in Japan it is played well, and it's
it is. I mean, it's still there. This is the thing. In Japan, it's still there, and some people still have that thing. But
no, it's not true, because the PlayStation Vita has a lot of games and fits the way Japanese play this game. Games with mobile and things. The Vita is still a working thing in Japan, but only in Japan.
Yeah, but it's not really selling much, like you can tell, because even some I I don't know if it was some retailers or something, but even some retailers in Japan just straight up went out said, I don't have a source for that right now with me, but this is what I read like a few months back, is like some retailers in Japan were even like, now we don't want this thing anymore because it's just lying here. And the thing is, compared to the 3DS, which is still selling like hotcakes in Japan because of Monster Hunters and things, I mean, it's a joke. That's why you need to have these games that you have for PS Vita. You need to have them for the console too, to have some sales in.
Yeah, and I completely disagree with you there, because many of these mobile game ports are released on the PlayStation Vita. Like, there is a big market still for the PlayStation Vita in Japan, with many games released on it. And here's the thing with retailers, especially in Japan, who's going to buy from retailers? Most people order them online, so it doesn't really the sales.
Yeah, I mean,
of
I
retailers aren't
didn't.
really that important anymore.
Well, okay. I mean, sure, but I mean, this is the thing here. I mean, just look at the numbers. If you look at the PS Vita and if you look at the 3DS, which are like the things that compare each other.
Yeah, but the 3DS even sold better than PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
So comparing the Vita single as a single thing against,
yeah, but because it's a handheld, right? Because I'm just comparing here one handheld to another handheld. I would.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the 3DS is more popular. I think the PlayStation Vita is 5 times better than the 3DS will ever be.
Yeah,
But
okay.
that's my personal opinion, of course.
That's
but I'm
that's
just saying
but that's
that
not the thing.
PlayStation Vita is still working in Japan, not as well as the last few years, but it's still a thing. Unlike the West, where it's pretty much dead.
Yeah. Well, in the West, it's dead for years. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting title, and if you have an interesting title like that, it's good to have it on more than just the PS Vita. So, anything else you wanted to say to that, or to the TGS in general? Were you there, Rafe? I think I saw a live stream with you just looking around there in Japan. Was that you? So I saw you.
Stop
I mean,
joking.
well, you were. I saw you trying out that Kaiji VR game. How was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I'm mentally
Sure.
insane, so I tried to balance myself in 500
You know what
meters high.
I want to know, because the trailer doesn't show that, but I want to know what it's like to fall down. To actually like, I don't want it to be like.
I tell you something. I don't want to know what's like to fall.
No,
down.
I wanna know. No, I wanna know. But I'm afraid of just being like, you just go to the side and then it's just straight up saying game over before you fall. I don't want that. I want to fall.
You want the despair of falling to your death.
Yeah, I just want, like, what?
I'm
gonna scream like
that.
a little kid. No.
But-
I don't
but-
want to. I
but
don't
it's-
want to act. I don't want to die. Actually, I just want to have this this feeling where I'm actually. I know I'm safe. I know it's just a fucking
But
VR
then you
goggle on
don't-
my head.
No, then you're not experiencing it. You need to be safe
Yeah.
without knowing that you will be safe.
No. That's too much. That's too much.
But
Please
then there's
don't.
no point. Then it's just.
Of course, there is a point. There's a point for me where I can test out I can test out the limit with a VR goggle to see if I'm cool with it or not. If I could if I could play this game or not.
Sorry, but do you actually realize how stupid you're currently sounding saying that?
Why? Because I mean, this is the only thing. The only thing I want to test out is to see, can I play this game or not? Can I lose in this game and be fine with it, or should I better stay away from it? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see what it's like to maybe die. Please no. This is stupid.
So, there you have it. The most important thing from the Tokyo Game Show is a balancing VR game where you want to experience death, but only
Near
almost
death.
with a safety net.
Yes.
So there you have it. That was the most interesting thing about
wasn't
Tokyo Game Show.
wasn't there in the anime? Wasn't it like when they fell down in the first? Like there were two levels, right? There was the first level when they fell down on just solid ground and the people were just laughing at them, and then there was the second level where you didn't even see the ground.
Yes, and the pipes or the steel bars were electrocuting you if you touched them with anything but your boots.
Yeah.
So,
I hope this game does all that. That would be cool.
yeah.
But I doubt that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I too, because it looks just like
Yeah,
a simple VR game.
it looks very low budget. Okay, so thank you, Raith. We talked about an hour about the Tokyo Game Show. Had some interesting talks out of it, even though there was not much to talk about here. So thank you for listening, guys. See you next time.